Hi, how are you doing? My name is Rohit and I'll be breaking down the 34th match of this year's IPL, which saw the Lucknow Super Giants taking on the Chennai Super Kings in the Ekana Stadium in Lucknow. And LSG cruises to an 8-wicket victory, which now puts them in 5th place with 8 points, now creating a massive logjam with 4 teams at 8 points, all of them placed within 2nd and 5th. And so, how did LSG win this game? How did they get and how they joined the 8-point logjam? Well, it really started with good power play bowling, dismissing Rachan Ravindra for a golden duck, and then Ruturaj Gaikwad for a very quick 17. So you already make your team lose 2 wickets in a power play, and you build on that momentum, causing them to slow down in the middle overs because CSK promotes Ravindra Jadeja to number 4, and he excelled in that position. He stayed unbeaten, 57 from 40, stabilizing and anchoring the innings and letting the others around him try to tee off. Ajinkya Rahane had a few shots, but he got out. Shivam Dubey and Samir Rizvi, the latter of whom came in as an impact sub, they couldn't kick on. And so with a quick slew of wickets, you have another sort of repair job coming in, which again causes another middle over slowdown. And so that was a common thing for CSK. You'd have these ups and downs of, oh, we're building a partnership, then a wicket happens. Oh, you're building another partnership, then a wicket happens, and then another wicket happens, and then another wicket happens. And so you kind of just have those ebbs and flows, which naturally happen in a T20 game, but you have to kind of go through those more positively, and CSK wasn't able to do that. Lucknow bowled very good lines and lengths, not giving CSK a lot of freebies, and not even letting CSK find gaps, because this is a big ground. Early on in the innings, with Gaikwad and Rahane, you saw a lot of twos being ran. And even with Jadeja is one of the best runners between the wickets in international cricket. So you still have an opportunity to get those quick singles and twos. But if you don't find the gaps, you don't really have an opportunity to do so. So credit to KL Rahul as a captain for his field placement, and credit to his bowlers for those lines and lengths, bowling to their field, not letting the CSK batsmen really find the big gaps, get the boundaries, get the bigger ones and twos. So instead of those being ones and twos, because the LSG bowlers, those became dots and ones. And so those little things add up. Moeen Ali and MS Dhoni at the end gave a finishing flourish. Moeen Ali gets multiple sixes in a row, and then MS Dhoni does what MS Dhoni does. And the crowd, once again, goes berserk because, again, this country loves MS Dhoni. And, again, Dhoni coming in at number 8 towards the back end of the innings with about, let's say, 2-3 overs left. That is the perfect entry point for him because at that point, it's just go. You go out there, you score, and you keep scoring. And Dhoni has been striking at a ridiculous strike rate. I think his strike rate is around 235, 240 this season. And in this match, he had a strike rate of over 300, 28 from 9. And so that finishing flourish got CSK to 176, which in general is a pretty good total on this Lucknow ground that's generally above par. Mostly this season, we've seen scores of around 160, 165. CSK goes about 10 to 15 runs above that. In theory, that is a good score. The problem is Lucknow capitalized on CSK's missed opportunities, and they did so very well, not giving CSK an opportunity to really get themselves back into the game with their bowling. They took advantage of the power play, going at around 9.5, and they kept going and accelerating. You didn't really see a dip in their run rate. If anything, towards the end of the innings, their run rate, in fact, went up. The required run rate was a little less than 9. They finished the innings with a run rate of over 9, close to 9.5. So they started the power play going pretty strong. They finished the power play at around 9s, and their run rate stayed within 8.5 to 9. And then you come in, with Nicholas Puran finishing flourish, you get that net run rate above 9. You get a net run rate boost for yourself. But because of the way the middle overs went for LSG, they were in control, but they didn't completely really blow CSK away. yes, they won with an over to spare, but because of they only won with an over to spare, CSK's net run rate doesn't take a hit. LSG's net run rate doesn't go as high as they'd want it to. But going back to what happened, it was just Quinton de Kock and KL Rahul having a massive opening partnership of 134. And that basically does it. A little early on in the innings, at the ninth over, there was a chance to get a wicket very early on. And as we saw with CSK, opportunistic wickets at opportunistic times creates opportunities for your bowlers to come in and really stem the flow of runs. CSK had an opportunity to do that. Matisha Patirana drops a catch, and then from there, the wheels really went off. Quinton de Kock eventually gets out. Then Ravindra Jadeja takes an absolute screamer of a catch. But at that point, it's too late. The damage has already been done. Nicholas Puder and Marcus Stoinis finished things off relatively comfortably. And this is a ground where it takes a little bit of time to get set. So if you are a team like CSK who's kind of struggled with their batting, well, not necessarily their batting, but their opening partnership, not really having a opening partnership truly be successful kind of hampers them. So they don't really get that sort of, okay, we're set, now we can tee off. Whereas KL Rahul and Quinton de Kock, obviously, this is LSG's home ground, so they know the conditions very well. So they were able to tee off immediately, and they just kept going. Both of them found form that was very kind of fleeting for them earlier on this season. They found that form, and they rode that momentum, and they batted CSK out of this contest. Everything else from there was a formality. So what do we know from this is that it takes a lot to go right to win on the road this year in the IPL, because home teams have been pretty dominant. But also, you have to take advantage of the opportunities whenever they're presented. If there's a catching opportunity, you take that catch. Those drop catches could prove costly, as the drop catch for CSK did today. Who knows? Maybe after that first wicket, maybe the incoming batsmen start to struggle, which then leads to dot ball pressure, which then leads to more wickets, which means more fresh batters, more dot balls, more wickets. Because that tends to be how it goes. Because that's what happened with CSK. They kept losing wickets at regular intervals. None of their batsmen truly got set. By the time they got set, they were usually out. And so they didn't really have an opportunity to capitalize and really kick on in the middle overs like they've normally done. So LSG did very good to restrict CSK in that regard. And CSK did poorly to not only not create wickets, but also not take advantage of wicket-taking opportunities such as drop catches. And all those factors come together for a very comfortable LSG win. And yeah, that's pretty much it. It was pretty open and shut. LSG took advantage of their opportunities. CSK didn't. LSG objectively played a much better game of cricket than CSK did today. And sometimes it's just as simple as that. Sometimes one team plays better than the other. And it goes to show how much the top order matters. CSK this year has mainly been about their middle order. Typically players like Shivam Dube, Ravindra Jadeja, MS Dhoni at the lower middle order. Whereas for LSG, it's always been more about their top order, and their top order has been firing this season. But today, both openers fired very well. Both had half centuries. Quinton de Kock, 54 from 43. KL Rahul, 82 from 53. Both of whom finally found some form. And sometimes that's all you really need, is just one big partnership, and just that's it. Sometimes that's all you need to outplay a team. Sometimes it's just as simple as that. That's the game of cricket. With that, thank you so much for watching. Please like, comment, subscribe. And with that, I'll be back for the next one. Have a good one.